So now we are running our businesses from a business page, and now we sort of have to learn some new ways of, okay, it'll be fine, honey. Go, please. It's fine. Just lay on the other side. Go, please. Her arm hurts. Okay, so now we need to sort of learn some different ways and learn some new things about how to create content that are going to get people to start liking our stuff and, more importantly, commenting on our posts. That's what we really want on at the end of the day, is comments. Because as soon as people start commenting on our stuff, we then can reach out to them. We can message them right from our business page. We don't want to have to be relying on our personal inbox. We want to be able to message them right from our business page. And I think it was Heidi that kind of came up with the analogy, and I shared it with my team. And it really made sense to me, because if we are posting on our personal or posting on our like page, running our business from there, but then we message people from our personal page, like thanking them for liking a post that was on our business page, which is what we've all done. But it doesn't even make sense, because those two things are totally separate. Your personal page is totally separate from your business page. Your business page is like another person. It's a whole other thing that is separate than from your personal page. So I think Heidi said something about, like, if you were on the Starbucks like page and they were talking about this brand new cafe latte frappe thing, and you liked it because it looked delicious, and then you had the owner of Starbucks send you a private message saying, thank you so much for liking my post, you'd be like, well, who in the hell is that? Who is this person messaging me? Like, it just doesn't add up. And yes, I know our names are the same, but it's the same concept, right? It's totally separate. So our business page is for our business. Okay. So I have 10 tips to start getting you more engagement and more likes and more comments. So the first thing, and everybody needs to do this, you need to go and look at your page, and are you standing out? Are you different than all 450,000 Beachbody coaches out there? Because there's a lot of us. There is a crap ton of coaches out there nowadays. So are you any different than all the rest of them? What makes you stand out? Because you have to stand out. If you don't stand out, you're just going to get lost in the sea of Beachbody coaches who are all working out, who are all eating healthy, and who are all being motivational and drinking their Shakeology. So you have to figure out what is different about you, and make sure your page, your actual page, is standing out. So what does your cover photo look like? Is your cover photo professional looking? When somebody sees it, are they drawn to it? When they see your images, are they drawn to those images? When they see the way that you post, is it just like a big chunk of words, or is it nicely laid out with, some emojis in there that's appealing to the eye? Those kinds of things stop people when they are scrolling through the news feed. Those small things that maybe don't seem so important stop people in their tracks, and that's what's going to get more eyes on your stuff. That's what's going to get you a like or even a comment. Okay, so really take a look at your page. What does it look like? Would you want to come back to your page? Like, try and look at it from a different perspective. Like, we all love our own content, but just pretend for a minute that you are stumbling across your own page and read the last 3, 4, 5 posts. Are you giving value? Do you find yourself just simply sharing your workout and sharing some recipes? Or are you really putting some good stuff out there that would make people want to tell their friends to come see you? Would they share anything that you're posting? Would they want to keep coming back and seeing more stuff that you're putting out there? So you have to really critique your own page. People come to Facebook for a few different reasons. They want to be informed. So are you informing people? Are you providing some value to people? So, an example of a post that is informing somebody is like if you drink a big glass of water every single morning when you first wake up, you are speeding up your metabolism. A post like that, you're informing somebody about something specific. So people love that kind of stuff. They want to learn from you. They want to be educated. So how do you do a proper push-up? What's a good workout for a new mom to be doing to get her abs back? Talk about a tip on how to organize your pantry or how to meal prep. Those are all things that are educating somebody, providing value to somebody. They also want to be entertained. So this can be done in a whole lot of different ways, and hopefully the majority of your posts you are entertaining. So I try and entertain every day, whether it's like shit my kids are doing, even sharing your story, that's entertainment. So when we think of entertainment, we often think it has to be funny. It doesn't have to always be funny. Just sharing parts of you, parts of your vulnerability, your story, what you're going through, that's entertainment for somebody. It's like a movie, right? Not every movie is funny that you love. There's some really deep movies out there that entertain you. So think of it that way. So you want to make sure you are informing people about different topics, that you are educating them, and that you are entertaining them. But keep in mind, you have to be talking to your avatar. If you do not know who your avatar is, you need to put on the brakes with whatever you're doing. Find a YouTube video that I've done or Michelle has done or somebody else in the network, and you need to write out your avatar. You need to know who you are talking to, because it would make zero sense for me, for instance, to do a post about 10 ways to overcome postpartum depression. Yes, I've had a baby, but I have never experienced postpartum depression. So I'm not going to relate to the person that is reading that and comments and likes it. I'm not going to relate to them. But I'm going to relate to maybe the mom who is breastfeeding and has mastitis because I can relate to that. So you really have to figure out what is your avatar. If you do not have children, don't post about pregnancy workouts. Or if you, like Michelle has PCOS, well, why would I post about PCOS? Sure, there's tons of women out there that have PCOS, and maybe some of them are watching me, but it would make no sense for me to start posting about stuff like that. Or like dogs. I don't like dogs, so I'm not going to start posting stuff about dogs. Even though I have one, no one really knows because I don't post about them. So make sure that the stuff you are sharing is really related to you. It's not just simply like giving information out there. It has to do with your avatar. So if you struggle with your avatar, you really need to spend some time, and don't overthink it. Your avatar is you. It's who you were before Beachbody. That's who your avatar is. It's not tricky to think about your avatar. Who were you the month before you signed up for Beachbody? That's your avatar. That's who you're talking to. Okay, so the second thing is you need to show your face. Your face has to be all over your page. It has to be, because people are attracted to you. They are following your page because of you. So yes, we will all have some quotes and, funny little things up on our page, but for the most part, it has to be you. Lots and lots of pictures of you. But make sure that they look a little bit different from the last one. It's so easy for us all to sort of take the same pose, in the same lighting, in the same room, with the same background, same mom bun, like, and we start to look the exact same in every single picture. And what happens is people just get desensitized to it. If every single picture starts to look the exact same, they're not even stopping anymore because they're like, oh, there she is. And they'll just keep going. So you have to stop them. You have to do a different face every once in a while. Maybe throw in a black and white photo if you don't do that very often, or you know, in a different room, or be outside, or have, instead of always smiling, like it's just so easy for us to always just like take a beautiful smiling selfie of us. But if it's like a post where you're struggling with something and you're smiling, like it just doesn't add up, right? Or like if you were up all night long with your kids and, you know, the last thing you feel like doing is working out and you're like it just makes no sense, right? So make sure your picture is really matching what your post is all about. And don't be afraid to just make that, like that picture really raw. People don't always want to see us so perfect, and that's not relatable. You're not going to attract people to you if you're just too perfect all the time in your pictures. That's not our business. We are real people. We're as like real as it gets out there in network marketing. So you have to really just show your true self and not this beautiful version of ourselves all the time. That's what our cover photo is for. Our cover photos for like all the beautiful stuff. Okay, so I kind of touched on this a little bit, but number 3 is share your story. Be vulnerable. Really take some time to figure out what your story is. Heidi did a call a couple weeks ago about the whole struggle wheel, figuring out what your struggles are, like really, really, and it's going to get easier the more and more you do this and the longer you're a coach. And I'm still pulling out things that I'm struggling with. Like even like a couple days ago, I was like, had an aha moment about something that I've been struggling with. So it can take a while for all those things to come out, but those are the things you want to share. You cannot be surface level in this business. If you're going to stay on the surface and just share like the little ups and downs of like, you know, everyday life, you're not connecting with anybody. When you really show your rock bottom moments, that's when you are going to connect with your people. Do more videos. So, I mean, this was a huge wake-up call. If you guys know me before I moved over to my like page like 2 weeks ago, you know that doing a live video was like the last thing I ever wanted to do, and I very rarely did live video. It just makes it, I mean, we all hate it, right? Like we all feel so nervous about it. We work ourselves up over it. We don't know what we're going to talk about. We think nobody's going to care, but you just have to start doing it and it gets a whole lot easier. And you fumble. Like if anybody watched my live video this afternoon, my God, I wanted to delete it after because I was like, what the hell was that? But you just you don't even rewatch it. Never rewatch your live video. It serves no purpose. Just post it and walk on. But you have to keep doing these live videos. They're going to get easier. Try and do them like 3, 4, 5 times a week. That's what I'm trying to do. The more times you can do live video, the better, because people are going to get to see the real and raw you. Talk about anything. Like even if like my live video this afternoon, even though it was like a total disaster, it was just very quick. And it was just sort of in the moment, and I got in and I got out. That was it. And people watched it, and there's lots of comments on it, surprisingly. But it doesn't always have to be this like live video that you've made notes and you've got a topic that you're just going to really focus in on. It can just be like something that is just on your mind and you want to get out there. And you think no one's going to care. You really do. And every time I go live, I think no one is even going to care. But they do, because they're your people. They're just like you. So they do care. If you don't think that anybody's going to care, I promise you, the people who do care are your people. Okay? Facebook loves live video. So if you can keep doing live video, Facebook's going to reward you by continually to show your page to people. because Facebook wants to keep people on Facebook. So when you start to put live videos or any type of video that keeps people on Facebook, it keeps people on Facebook longer than reading a post, right? So if someone has to watch a video, they're on it for a few minutes, whereas a post, they can just sort of get on and off Facebook really quickly. But a video keeps people on Facebook, and that's what Facebook wants. So if you are doing live video, they are going to expose you to more people. So it is in your best interest to be doing live video, just because you're going to be showing up in the news feed more, because Facebook is going to say like, awesome, Michelle's doing all these videos. We love video. We're going to just keep showing Michelle to everybody. Okay. And then number five is developing your brand. And I'm going to be honest, I actually had to message Michelle to be like, what is that? Like, I don't get this whole brand talk. Like, I understand our avatar, that's like our person we're speaking to, but then there's all this talk about your brand and developing your brand. And all I could figure out from it was like, it's like your colors and your style and your filters and your font you use. And I was thinking like, okay, there's got to be more to it. What am I missing? No, I'm not missing anything. That's all it is. So do not waste time on your brand. That's my biggest advice, because it really is just sort of a fun extra thing that might make your posts just a little bit more presentable. But if you are wasting time developing your brand, I think you're just wasting time, in my opinion. It's just more of an aesthetic thing, I think is the word I want to say. It's just appealing to the eye, basically. So it's just having your colors sort of all matching on your page, and your fonts when you use Word, or when you use like fonts on your pictures, that they all sort of match up, or your filters all are the same, that sort of thing. That's all it is. That's what your brand is. So personally, I don't really care about my brand too much, because I hate stuff like that. Michelle, I think we all know her brand. Like, she's into the pinks and the golds, and that's just her brand, right? Because she likes that stuff. She's creative. I'm not. So if you aren't creative, don't waste your time worrying about your brand, basically. I mean, keep it in your back pocket. I sort of know what colors I like, and like, there is a branding quiz you can take. If you just go to Google and type in branding quiz, it's kind of a fun little thing, and it'll give you sort of what your colors should be, and fonts that you can find on different, like Rona and all different apps like that. So it is kind of cool. So take some time, and like, it's literally like 2 minutes, do a quiz. And it will give you a little bit of an idea, but don't be now like thinking all your posts have to have all these matching colors and stuff.
Can I just pop in for 1 sec?
Yeah.
Do you mind? Sorry, I've got these. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's important that if that brings you joy, don't discount it, because it brings me a lot of joy. And last year I didn't do any of it. So, and I really got down stuff that I was doing. So no, you don't want to waste time on it. And if it's not your thing, it's going to be a time waster, because it's not your thing. Does that make sense? Like, if you're not artistic and you're not into that, there are so many places to outsource, because your page has to look professional, guys. It really does have to look professional. It's a business page. So there's like, for $20, a lot of the girls on the team have gone and had a really beautiful cover photo done. And those people will figure that stuff out for you. They're going to ask you, what colors do you like? What fonts do you like? Oh, well, you just pick it out for me. Or maybe you'll tell them purple and red, whatever. And they'll do it for you for like $20. Myself, for me, it made sense to spend a couple hours and do that, because A, it brings me joy. I like doing it. I'm disciplined enough to know I still have to get my vital behaviors done that day. So I might be up a little bit later, but I also did something that was really fun. It didn't take too much time because I enjoy doing it. And if you enjoy doing something, you're not that bad at it either, right? So figure out the type of person you are. It's not that we're saying discount it, don't think about it, but we just don't want people like wasting all their power hour. Like I have a little bit more time than you guys, so we want to be respectful of the time that you have in your day. So if you've really only got an hour to work your business, paying $20 to get someone to make a nice branded cover photo for you is worth it. Because at the end of the day, your page should look professional. It should. It's a business page. It goes right back to Megan's first point. You want your page to stand out. That's the first thing people see is your cover photo. So you want it to be professional looking. It's gonna stand out negatively if it's kind of just, if you're not creative, it's gonna show. So it's something to think about, but not a time waster. For very small dollar, you can get someone to help you. And if you want the names, like Fiverr, and there's lots of places, like literally for $20, wasn't it, Heidi and Justine and Colleen? Like very cheap, not an expensive thing. Okay.
Can I add something to the branding part? Because I think like I interpret branding a little bit differently. Obviously it's your colors, it's your kind of your everything that you guys just talked about. But I also think it could be kind of what you're known for as well. Like if you are the workout person, like I'm not the workout person, but if you are the workout person and you every day you're posting a workout move or helping people with their form or something like that, brand those videos so they all kind of look the same. So, or if you're a recipe person, you know, try to have your recipes kind of look the same with the same font and the same style. If you do live videos a lot, you know, have the same type of way that you deliver it. So I think branding is kind of, it's the colors and it's everything that you guys talked about, but I also think it's a consistency in what you're kind of known for on your page. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm still trying to figure that part out because I kind of dabble in the workout part, like with the workout videos and stuff, but I wouldn't say that I'm known for that. Like people would not go to my page for God, I hope they're not going to my page for like workout inspiration. Because half the time I'm like, oh my God, 30 minutes. Like, I don't know how I did that. But you know, with your recipes, have your picture. Maybe you always put, if you have a logo, maybe you always put your logo on that picture or keep the same font. So keep a consistency with whatever it is that you're known for. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's how I think of branding.
Yeah, no, that's some good points. I mean, and as soon as you said that, I thought of Heather and her whole like tub talk. Like that's something that Heather is known for and is consistent with. I think that you still do that, but just those like, yeah. And I think Michelle, like you used to do like your coffee chats, like just those things, right? Or I think there's another mom that does live videos during the nap time, and it's always like the nap time chat, like those kinds of things. So I think those are part of branding too. Like I'll be honest, it's kind of something new that I've had to think about. So it's, yeah, we're all learning together, that's for sure. Okay, where was I here? What's my next one? Okay, so another tip, so we're on number 6 in case anybody's taking notes. Share other popular content. So this can really boost your engagement on your page by sharing other videos that have gone viral, other posts, other motivational little videos, those types of things. So any viral posts that you share, they can really do well for your page. The thing is, and it goes back to everything we are always talking about, don't just share it though. You have to talk about why that means something to you. Why are you sharing it? Why are you posting about that? You have to always put some meaning behind everything that you're putting out on social media. So just sharing a popular video and like just that's all? Well, no, talk about like what this meant to you, why you find this entertaining or meaningful or valuable. That makes a difference. That's again, what is making you relatable to other people who are watching is when you can put just that little bit of meaning behind your posts. Another number 7 is ask questions or comparison photos. So so we all have seen all those like A or B. I did one for the very first time. Actually, I've never done one of those comparison photos until a couple weeks ago. I found some boots at Winners, so they were 2 different colors. I did A or B. So of course it like blows up, right? Like those people love to give their opinion and to just type in A or B and give their feedback, which is great because it boosts the engagement on your post. So that post is going to just keep getting shown in people's news feed. So it's so valuable, right? Because then people will click on your post, and then maybe they'll even go like click on your name and it'll go to your like page, and then they'll start looking at your like page. So it does get more eyes on your page. They might even like your post, so then you can invite them to like your page. So it's very, very valuable. However, just make sure that you're somehow, it depends. So I'm going to talk about this in 2 different ways. You can share posts like that. You can share, I mean, there's so many that have gone like totally viral that even some of our team members have done. Like I did one with what would you rather go without: coffee, makeup, your cell phone, Wi-Fi, and people had to vote on that. Well, I mean, it's still going. People are still freaking commenting on this thing. The thing is, the people who are now commenting are like old men and old ladies that they're not my avatar, obviously, right? So it's just kind of like pointless that this thing is now still being circulated, but not to the right people at all, which is fine. It's bringing eyes to my page. It has its purpose. But if your purpose is to build connections and build relationships with people, choose those types of posts wisely, because it's going to be really hard to pull a conversation out of some of those posts. So out of like, if someone wrote on that post like, oh, definitely A, and it was like, go without makeup or go without coffee, how do I send that person a personal message and like, oh yeah, you choose no coffee? Like, awesome. Like, it's just so hard, right? So, like, it's awkward. You're forcing that connection. It's very, very forceful. It's very salesy. Like, I'm just trying to build a relationship from absolutely nothing. So I'm not saying don't do those posts, because they are so valuable for getting increased engagement. But if your purpose is to build a connection, make sure you are choosing posts that are going to go viral like that, but have to do with your avatar. So for instance, I did one on the weekend that was about how often do you wash your kids' bedding. So, I mean, I had like 80 something comments. People are still commenting even tonight on that post. And that is something that I have been able to build relationships with from the people that are commenting on it. Obviously not everyone I'm reaching out to and messaging privately, but I am able to message a lot of them, because if they're saying like, oh, I every 2 weeks I wash my son's bedding, and then every week it's my daughter's bedding, I actually am really interested in what her system is for laundry, for one. So I'm sending her a private message saying like, thanks so much for commenting. I am super interested to hear how you like organize your laundry. I also have 4 kids and I freaking can't get my shit together when it comes to laundry. Like, what's your system like? And that builds a relationship. Or if that another person comments just about her kids, goes into a little bit of in depth rather than just like once a week. Like, that's hard to pull a conversation with, right? So look at those posts and see where you can build a little bit deeper, and then you can message them. But it has to be your avatar. Otherwise, you're just messaging people that you're never going to connect with, that it's just sort of a pointless conversation. I don't know if that makes sense at all. I feel like I kind of went all over the place with that, but all right. Post 3 to 5 times per day on your like page. I think this is really, really important, because the more active your page is, the more people that are going to see it, the more likes you're going to get, the more engagement you're going to get. So whereas before on our personal page, maybe you posted a couple times and you still got lots of engagement, or in our support groups, I was posting probably 2 to 3 times. On a like page, it's different. You have to post a little bit more, but you can do sort of more of those little filler posts. So you can find a nice little quote and throw that up there with a reason why that speaks to you. You can share some of those tasty videos or whatever those things are called. So it's not like you're having these deep posts created 5 times a day at all, but make sure you're posting about 3 to 5 times a day, and you can schedule all of this on your like page, which is the coolest thing. So you can actually schedule a few days worth. If you're working, take some time on Sunday, schedule your Monday to Friday, get it all done, and it's easy. That's what I kind of do in the morning. I schedule out my posts for the day if I can, and then I don't have to worry about it anymore. You can even look in your insights, and you can see when the most popular times are for you to post. When people are on Facebook, you can really figure out which posts do well, which posts don't do well, that sort of thing. So there's a lot of really cool features with your like page that are going to help you with when to post, what people want to see, what they're engaging on, what they're not engaging on. And then number 9 is respond to all comments. So everybody who's responding, make sure that you are responding back to them, tagging them in the comments. I mean, I think that goes without saying. Hopefully you were doing that before wherever you were running your business from, but the more you're interacting on your page, the more it's going to get shown. And number 10 is always provide value. Just give and give and give on your page. Don't expect anything in return. Don't expect challenge pack sales. Don't expect coaching signups. Just give. Like, pour your heart and soul into your posts. Share, be vulnerable. Just constantly be adding value to people, and it's gonna come back to you. It will. It honestly will. But you have to give it time. And it's just going to be a slow growth that you're going to see. It's not going to be like overnight success with a business page. You really have to pour love into it, and it will pay off. Or so I'm being told. So I'm told it will pay off. Does anybody have questions or comments? Nothing? Okay.
I have a question, Megan, for you, because you've been doing more live videos. That's something that I suck at still. Do you find that your title is really important of what you're posting, like for your videos? So you kind of want to like entice them a little bit without giving it away. Like I find that is the hardest part about a live video for me. So do you have any tips or anything that you?
Yeah, definitely that is important, because they're not going to click on it if it doesn't appeal to them. So again, if you are talking to your avatar, hopefully that title is going to draw your avatar in. Yeah, I think you don't want to give away too much, because then there's no point in them watching the video. You don't want to be too vague, because they're not going to be interested. So it's like that fine line of giving enough to make them be like, well, I want to check that out. I think in one of the videos, I saw something about like keywords that are really good to use in your titles for your live videos, like secrets, like the secrets to this. Michelle, do you have any other? Well, there's some other words like keyword, revealed, like something revealed. Tips, like those types of keywords people are more drawn to. We'll have to go back, and
there was about 5 or 6 keywords and I can't remember. One thing I've been doing, I struggle with that too, Heidi, is I know what I'm going to talk about, and then I'm like, this is just boring. I don't know what to say. So I'll just say whatever and get it going. And then you can go back and do it after. And I usually find once I've got through the live video, I seem a little bit more inspired. What has happened to me a few times is I've had this catchy title and then I go off on a whole other tangent in my live video. And Terry's like, that was a great video, Michelle, but I don't get the title. Like, it makes no sense. So you do have that option to go back. And I think they even said that in one of the trainings, like, just say a little bit, but then go back and give a little bit more, like, explain it a little bit more. So people just scrolling past can get a little gist of what's going on in the live video. And that's been helpful for me to go back after and just be like, okay, let's collect our thoughts. This is actually what I talked about. I was going to talk about this and that didn't even happen. That happens to me all the time, but yeah. Live video is just something that honestly, I still want to barf every single time I do it. And I've been doing live video since January. I mean, my dad died and a week later I was on telling people how I was doing. So I've been doing them a lot. If you have kids, get your kids on with you. It's so much easier. Delaney and I did a video last night about sugar in yogurt. I wasn't nervous at all because she was there and she just kept it. I mean, she was eating sugar right out of the bag. Here I am talking about not eating sugar, and like, it was a total shit show. But I've had more messages from that video just showing people so I was educating people in a nice way. You also have to be really careful, right? Like, I wasn't saying, oh, you moms that are feeding your kids yogurt are horrible. I said, this is in my fridge and this is what we just discovered. It doesn't mean we're not going to have it again. And it doesn't mean I didn't let her have it. It's empty. She's hopped up on sugar, clearly. But let's take a look at this. There's 22 grams of sugar. What's an alternative we could have? So that's kind of what the whole video was about. And of course, moms, my crowd, every kid, every 6-year-old wants that when you go to the grocery store. So I got a ton of private messages saying, oh my God, thank you so much. Like, I had no idea and I didn't know either before. So, and nobody realizes like what a gram is. So I actually like poured in a little shaker cup how much sugar was in there. So they actually like visually saw it, and Delaney was there. And so if you have kids, bring them into it. Get them with you. It makes it a little bit more comfortable. It is awkward. You're sitting there just talking to yourself, but people love it. They absolutely love it. I have had more people message me asking me, I'm going through Coffee Talk withdrawal because they haven't gone to my like page. So they usually caught this Coffee Talk early in the morning. I didn't even know they were listening to it. And they were. And unfortunately, this is a transition now, right? Like, they're not seeing it. They're not seeing my videos on my business page. So you kind of just have to be patient with it and just grow it and believe that it will work. I mean, it's fine that 20 people messaged me that they missed their Coffee Talk, but at the end of the day, they weren't my customers. They weren't coaches on the team. So really, they were just feeding my ego on my personal page. They weren't doing anything for my business. So putting love into this business page is going to get new eyes on your page. What do we say every single time you guys message us saying, I have nobody to talk to? You need new people to talk to, and this is the way to find them if you want to run your business on Facebook. Instagram's a whole different beast. We're really solely just talking about Facebook today.
And I think a lot of people are getting hung up on, like, their friends haven't all liked their page, or they're trying to get everybody moved over from their support group, and they've invited everybody to like their page, but none of them have actually liked it. Don't even worry about those people. Those people aren't the people that are going to build your business. The people that you want to find, like, you haven't found them yet. Those are the people. So don't get too hung up on your friends liking it and all the people that were in your support group liking it. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. That's just fueling your ego, really. Like, you you will build your page, and it's going to be with people that you don't even know yet. And that's what you want.
Yeah.
Megan, can I add something about live videos, if you don't mind?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Darlene that had a suggestion to do, and I've tested it out, and it worked really well when I did it. She mentioned that while you're in your live video, to ask people to comment with a number 1 if they're watching it live, or comment with the number 2 if they're watching it later. And I tested it out, and I did it on some of my earlier videos, and my reach was through the roof. And I got a lot more people interacting on the live feed because they had to comment. They had to put a 1 or a 2. They wanted to do it. It also gave me somebody to reach out to, because now I could still message them at this point. Like, I would just make something up if I needed to be able to reach out to message them. But the couple of times that I've gone live where I didn't say that, the reach was a lot lower. Well,
yeah, I've heard a lot of little tips like that. So the next time anyone catches me on a live video, could you remind me that that's what I'm supposed to say? I always have it in my head. Okay, remember to say that whole 1, 2 thing, and then I press post and I'm like, I forgot again. I never remember to do it.
When you guys do that, why are, like, obviously I know the reason, but how are you, like, you're just saying, like, do 1 or 2.
For me, I said to them, I said, guys, you know, I want to know when the best time to come live to you is. I want to know when the most people are on here. So just do me a favor and let me know if you're watching live, press 1. And if you're watching the playback, press 2, because then if they press 2, then it's time stamped. So I'll know what time most people are watching. So it allows me to know when my people are mostly on. So I know when not to waste my time, type thing. So it makes me know how to schedule my posts a little bit better on who I'm targeting to.
Okay. Because I think that is where I would fumble. I would be like, oh, you know, if press 1 or 2, and then I would feel like I need to explain the reason why, and I can't, like, come up with a reason why other than because I want you guys to keep engaging on my post.
Yeah, you just tell them it's just so that you know when to come live to them, when a better time for them is, and you just want to be able to, you know, reach out to them and know when your people are on, type thing. That's how I explained it.
Okay.
And then afterwards, when you go through it and they say they're 2, I comment back to them, tag whoever, sorry I missed you live, so that then they see that back again. So I don't know. Yeah, I just basically say, oh, if you're hopping on live, give me a 1, or if you're watching the replay, give me a 2, just so I know. That's all I say, and then I keep going on.
And I think, like, just going back to the live, and I think what people really get hung up on is, well, I don't know what to talk about, right? And it's still, like, is my fear. But there is so much that all of us do on a daily basis that we think is so normal and just so, like, everybody else does it too. But that's not the case. Like, so the very simple things that we do, or our thought process, is not what everybody else is doing. I don't know if that makes sense at all. But for instance, like I talk about my calendar on my fridge all the time. To me, that is just like this, like, if you are a busy mom with kids and you don't have a giant calendar on your fridge, like, how are you surviving? And everybody gets their own color. Like, to me, that is just like a no-brainer, because it's something I've always done, and it's just the way I organize my life. Well, I talk about that freaking calendar all the time, and I always get so many comments and messages about how I organize the kids. To me, that's just so simple. Like, you put it all in a calendar where everybody can see it, and the kids know their colors, so they know they have something. But to other people, that's not. I'm echoing. Anyway, I had like a bunch of ripe bananas, so I took the peels off the bananas and froze the bananas without the peels on to use in shakes. And again, like, that's just kind of a simple thing, right? But so many people had never thought to do that before, and they're always dealing with the slimy peel when it thaws out. And it's just those simple things that we don't think are that important, but, like, guaranteed you all do things every single day that others would see huge value in.
Megan, you should go live on how you get 4 kids ready for bed, because I only have one to get ready for bed and he's a baby and it's a freaking mess over here.
I should.
If you guys are stumped for things like that, go to those DIY pages on Facebook or Pinterest or whatever. One, in the summer when I was unpacking my closet, and you know how you have those silky shirts that, unless you have the expensive hangers, they're always falling off the hangers. So the hack that I found on this page was just to put rubber bands around my hangers, and then the shirt sticks. Like, it was brilliant. So I went and just like literally for 2 minutes just showed people hanging up my shirts. Now, this was on my personal page. This was like a long time ago in the summer. It was insane how many people commented on that video. So it was just like something simple Sunday afternoon. It just kind of popped in my head. Well, I might as well just talk about this because I didn't know it and it's helping me. So it's going to help everyone else. So if you're stumped, go find something. Like, you don't have to think of this. Like, maybe Megan does think of all of this stuff in her head. That's awesome. I don't. I often go look. Like, I often go look in my book or go to a blog post of someone that I value their opinion. And I think, okay, I read that. What did it do for me? Why did that resonate with me? Why did I like this chapter in the book? Why did I read this? Why did I try this hack? And then I just go talk about it. You're not copying. You've learned something and now you're sharing it. You don't have to think of it all by yourself. I never do. Nothing, trust me, nothing is thought by myself for me. It's all, if you saw my desk right now, it's covered with like this book and like there's tons of stuff in front of me all the time to give me ideas. I don't like copy it, but it gives me the inspiration. So that's something that I've done a few times, like hair. Maybe you're really good at doing hair, or you're good at ironing, like whatever you're good at. Or if you can't think of anything, just go find something that inspires you and just tell people why it does. Because if it inspired you, it's going to inspire other people. It's going to inspire your avatar because they're going to be just like you. They're going to love what you love. And when you start connecting with people that love what you love, it's so easy. It's just so easy to talk to them. It's not painful. Like, I know it's often painful for you guys. Sometimes these conversations just don't seem to go anywhere. But when you're talking to the right people, it's so much easier. And it all starts here. It all starts with this kind of stuff. Be mindful of what you're posting. Going back to that comparison thing, when we started this training, I'm such a squirrel. I just do what everybody does, right? So I saw this post about list some movies that you would watch 5 times. I had over 2.5 thousand I can't remember how many comments. Like, it was just so insane. My page right now, when I look at my page, it's always so low because I can't keep up to this crazy post. I haven't watched a movie in 3 years. I could care less about people watching movies. It was a total waste of my effing time because all of these people sit around on the couch watching movies. I don't want to talk to those people. So it was such a good lesson for me. Like, why would I post that? I don't even know what movies they're talking about. Like, I'd be like, oh my God, I haven't watched that. Wow, what movie is that? Like, it just made no sense. So be really careful. It's so easy to see one of those, like maybe you go see Megan's page and you're like, oh, look at all the comments she got. I just want to do that. But if you don't have kids or 4 kids, it's not going to make sense. Like, don't do it. You got to think of your own kind of stuff that makes sense for you. And there's lots of stuff out there for every type of person, but it's really important because you don't want your page to be full of people that you have nothing in common with.
Well, and you don't want to waste your time. Like you could easily have wasted a lot of time with those people.
Yeah.
Like, so that's what I was trying to get at. Like, those posts, you know, there's even like the Christmas tree post, real or fake. I've seen that on a lot of different pages, and it blows up every single time. I remember doing it last year, like on like wherever I did it last year. And yeah, like so much engagement, so much. But like, what are you going to do with that? Like, it doesn't really.
Even the, like, when I go and post what dress or what outfit, like, sure, you get lots of comments, but what do you say? Thanks. I actually did spend a whole day commenting, thanks, I wore A and B. It was the dumbest conversation ever. Sometimes your feelings get hurt because people say rude things. I did have a really bad outfit choice apparently a couple of months ago, and people got into like an all-out brawl with each other in the
That was actually really entertaining.
Oh my god, it was a bad deal. But like, those are great to do every once in a while, but what I see sometimes, those are easy, right? Like, you can just go into your closet and go, okay, A or B. Like, they're easy posts that don't take a lot of thought, and they get you feeling pretty good about yourself because everybody's commenting. Do them, they have value, don't overdo them, and make sure you're kind of putting a tiny bit of thought into them.
There was that quote that we heard in our training, and it was, does it feed your ego or feed your bank account?
Yeah.
If it's feeding your ego by the number of likes, then you're not posting the right stuff. Like, it needs to convert into conversations, connections, so that you can eventually make money off of it. This is a business.
Yeah, and if you're going to go to other coaches' pages, go for inspiration. Do not go to compare your page to theirs. I might have a post that has 20 comments, but you know what? I bet you 15 of them are customers already. They're coaches. Like, you don't know what's going on. So don't go and compare your pages. We all are at different points. Some of my posts get nothing. Like, I did a post today. I didn't even know that it went on my page. I was thinking for sure I was the only one that must be able to see it, because I thought it was good, and like, nothing. That happens. That's okay. You just keep rolling on. Don't, go for inspiration. Don't go for comparison, because that is a sad, lonely road to start heading down. Just keep your blinders on, focus on what your goals are, and it'll all work. It will all work, but you have to keep at it and keep consistent. If there's anything that you have to keep with a like page, is that consistency. You drop off, you start over. Bottom line, I have 10,000 people, actually I think 11,000 people on my like page, because that's how I started my business. And then I took a year off and went a different direction. Those 11,000 people do not see my stuff. They are not on my page. So if it doesn't matter that those people were there, some of them are resurfacing again because I'm like being consistent. 5 posts a day. I'm getting that back, but it's like starting again. It's like when I look at that number, I took whatever number it was when I refocused to my like page, and that was my starting point. So if you want to do this, you need to be consistent with it. I mean, we've said that always, but it's really important with a like page when you're dealing with the algorithms of Facebook, and there's no sense in trying to figure them out because tomorrow they'll change. Just know that they're there, and know that consistency is the real winner in that. Keeping consistent with your posting and not dropping off. That's why they give you a scheduler button. When I was working full time, I scheduled everything on Friday. That's not going to work for everybody, but it sure worked for me when I was working 12-hour days and couldn't do it. I took 2 hours and just scheduled everything. I might have thrown in some personal posts along the way, but all that like quotes and educational, that kind of stuff, I just scheduled it all to make it really, really simple. That's it for me. Anybody have any questions?
Okay, well, I hope that was helpful.
It was very helpful, I think.
All right, good night, everybody. And special little shout out to Justine, 1-star qualifying.
Congrats.
That's awesome. Was there anybody else who had a rank advancement? I don't think there was any emeralds or anything pop up today. I think today's Thursday. Okay, night guys.
Bye guys.